Hey yo, what's Gucci? It's your boy Boxing TV coming back at you with another video. Again, another boxing prediction video on tomorrow night's heavyweight bout for the WBA, IBF, WBO, and IBO World Heavyweight Championships between the Beast, Anthony Joshua, and the Monster, Alexander Povetkin, and it happens tomorrow night on pay-per-view. Tonight, I'm here to give you guys my prediction and breakdown on how I think the fight will end. So let me rephrase that, how I know the fight will end. Anyways, let's jump right into this. I'm going to give you my prediction right off the get-go, and it has to 100% go to reigning defending heavyweight championships, Anthony Joshua. My prediction is he's taking the cake. I'll tell you guys later how I think he's going to take the cake, but I'm pretty sure. No, I know Anthony Joshua is going to beat Povetkin. I'm not going to say it's a walk in the park because Alexander Povetkin is 34-1, so it's not going to be easy. They said it's going to be the biggest test of Anthony Joshua's career, which I don't agree with. I think Vladimir Klitschko definitely was. He provided a harder test for Anthony Joshua, of course, him being the first man to knock down Anthony Joshua in his career. And the name Vladimir Klitschko plays a big factor in this fight here, because not only because it's in the same stadium where Anthony Joshua fought him in Wembley Stadium, 85,000 people are going to be watching, but also because Povetkin also faced Klitschko, but except it was embarrassing because that 34-1, the one loss is to Vladimir Klitschko, and it wasn't just a regular loss; it was an embarrassing loss. Vladimir Klitschko destroyed and wiped the floor with Povetkin. Not taking anything away from Povetkin, he's a scary guy, especially in his newer fights in the past 5 years, and the way he's gonna be walking. The type of the Povetkin that Joshua's gonna be facing tomorrow night is gonna be a complete different one, a completely different fighter than the one Vladimir Klitschko faced, because he's now he's an absolute machine. He's a killer in the ring. He smells blood. But the problem is I don't think he can smell blood off Joshua, because Joshua, just the way they say for Superman, Joshua doesn't bleed. He's a champion. He's 21-0. He's undefeated. And in my eyes, one of the, at the moment, top 3 heavyweights in the world, and in the top 5 heavyweights of all time. Now, obviously, it's not going to be a cakewalk for Joshua against Povetkin, but I do still think he will take the cake. Why do I think he will take the cake? Alexander Povetkin's defense, it's not that great. Say whatever you want, it's just not that great. Povetkin can hit hard, but he can't, there's no chance that he can get into Joshua's reach and do all that hits without obviously Joshua hitting with a hit back and with an answer, like a right hand answer. Obviously Joshua using his strength and his reach and his skill to outdo Povetkin. Povetkin's not gonna have the greatest defense, especially against a fighter like Joshua, which you could put Povetkin Superman, and then you say Joshua's for me to him, it's gonna be like kryptonite. And before you say you're showing his fight with Vladimir Klitschko, and you said he's a completely different fighter from then, I'm not contradicting myself. If you look at even in his later fights, I told you Machine is a killer. He smells blood and he still kills and gets the final blows. Defense is still not that great, and everyone who has fought, they're not the beast Anthony Joshua. They're not the beast Anthony Joshua is, and they're not going to be nowhere near as bad as, or nowhere near as good as Anthony Joshua is. And I can't see Anthony Joshua losing to Povetkin. Nah, I don't think so. I predict a 4th round knockout. Now, if I'm wrong and it's not a knockout, it's going to be a technical knockout, and the refs are going to interfere and stop Povetkin from getting smashed from Anthony Joshua. But you notice how I said it's either going to be a knockout or TKO, because I am confident that Joshua is going to take down or get some form of knockout on Povetkin in round 4. I think it's going to end like that, round 4. Joshua's going to play around with him in round 1 or 2, then he's going to start really going in on him, or 2 and 3, especially 3, and then 4 is just gonna finish Povetkin. I don't see this being like the other boxers are saying, and the promoters are saying this is gonna be the toughest exam of Alex's career. I do not think that. I think this man right here was. I think Vladimir Klitschko was the toughest test, and he went up to him and got a TKO on him, got knocked down by him. I don't think Povetkin's gonna get one knocked down on Joshua. It's gonna be either TKO or KO, but not round 10, round 4 on Povetkin. W goes to Anthony Joshua, and he regains and keeps his titles. I have a prediction for what will happen after the fight, and I especially hope it happens. If Joshua and his team are smart. Now, I love Joshua. He's a fantastic fighter, great person. It's his team that really pisses me off because they're being complete little p words. They're being pussies, and they're dodging any fights with Wilder or Fury, and it pisses me off. But Joshua said he's always been up for it, and his team doesn't want him. They want to protect him, and that's the worst thing you can do is protect the fighter. Give the fans, give us the heavyweight belt, give us Joshua versus Wilder. And if we can't get that, give us Joshua versus Fury. So I think after he beats Povetkin, he can congratulate Povetkin, you're a tough fighter, whatever. They embrace this handshake, and then if he's smart, he'll look into the camera and say, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, whoever wins, I'll be there that night, ringside. Whoever wins, you and me, 2019, will go at it for all the heavyweight titles. That'd be a perfectly smart idea. Do I think Anthony Joshua would do it? Absolutely. Do I think his team will let him? I don't know. That's the problem. I can only hope they do. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Peace out.